to another podcast. This is a 1980s classic, cult classic. Shutting the chat off. The Monster Squad. Yeah, this one is about an hour and 22 minutes, so it's pretty short. It's a lot shorter than the Lost Boys, so let's get started. No chat this time. I'm going to take a little break from the chat. I don't want spam. I don't want to deal with anybody, that's just explaining things to me, so no chat today or tomorrow. Here comes that Pegasus. Da 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 da. Yeah, I remember that thing when I was watching Muppets Take Manhattan when I was a kid. 100 years before this story begins, it was a time of darkness in Transylvania. A time when Dr. Abraham Van Helsing and a small band of freedom fighters conspired to rid the world of vampires and monsters and to save mankind from the forces of eternal evil. They blew it. The Monster Squad. Stephen Mott's in this movie. Look at that castle. Most of the cast is a bunch of unknowns. Thomas Noonan is in it as the Frankenstein monster. I know him. By Stan Winston, may he rest in peace. Bat. There's Dracula. No CGI in this movie. It's all done practically. Movies were just better in the past. Fred Decker, he wrote this with Shane Black. Both of their careers stalled in the 2010s and the 2020s because Decker's last script was that Predator movie, which is so horrible. That The Predator, not Predator Badlands, which is coming out soon. That's got to be infinitely better because it's taking it seriously. They're not making it into a joke. The Predator franchise is not comedic. There was some jokes in the first one, but it wasn't a comedy hour like the MCU or the DCU. Directed by Fred Decker. He did this and Night of the Creeps. Once he did RoboCop 3, it was downhill from him. I miss movies when they actually tried. This year there was so much little effort. That's why so many movies flopped this year. It's not the budgets, it's the lack of effort. And also getting people that can't act to helm your movie. That's why movies did terrible this year. Excuse me. Blah. I got too much phlegm. A vortex. Good effects, man. This and Night of the Creeps have really good effects. Because they're not bad CGI cartoons like everything that comes out now. Because if it was in some movies, I can handle it. But when the budgets for these movies are more than $400 million, I'm like, where the hell did the money go? Excuse me. She opened a portal to another world. Present day, well, of the 80s. If you've seen a lot of these films, I have. They're like the Goonies, except they fight monsters, not look for treasure. This came out after the Goonies, right? 1987, yeah. The Goonies was like 1985, I think. Also, this is at a time where there was no diversity. You couldn't force diversity in the 80s. It either had to be there or wasn't. Now it's in everything because if we don't have black or Asians or Hispanics, then the movie's not even good. I'm like, yeah, they were in a lot of movies and they still flopped. It's not about the skin color or the race. It's about effort, guys. Effort, not diversity hires for no reason. Just saying. It is. I know. Some people are monsters, bringing chickens into the theater and throwing stuff during a chicken jockey scene. You could be excited about something, but acting like a savage, there's no excuse for that. It's not good. I jumped out of my seat when I saw Infinity War and Endgame, but did I throw stuff? No, because I'm not a savage. I know how to act like a human being, mostly. that that's funny. Because Shane Black thinks that everything has to be a joke. This kid passed away too, you know. I'm sick of these bullies. After Shazam, they should have stopped doing that. His name is not Fat Kid. Yeah, you can't. You can't say that now. Horus. He ripped this comic. Yeah, you do that to me, I will punch you in your face. Those are the building blocks of my nerd kingdom. Again, they don't call Gaten Matarazzo the fat kid in Stranger Things because again, he's not fat. He's a plus size kid, a man now. The greaser character, and at least he's not gay like in that one segment in Chillerama. Rudy, yeah. A Snickers. Again, they use it a right way, unlike in Jurassic World Rebirth. Rudy, phew, your voice cracked. That's what this reminds me of. Yeah, like Fred Decker and Shane Black saw the Goonies and said we could do that, but with monsters instead of, pirate treasure and sloth. I remember when they used to have frozen Snickers bars, ice cream bars. I don't. Stephen King rules. Yeah, I remember that was when he was writing books. Now his most recent project is that It prequel with Welcome to Derry or whatever it's called. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't comment on it. I heard it was good though. It's got Taylor Page in it, and she's yummy, really, really young. Pick me on the love, 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 love. Not yet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The little girl becomes important to the plot later. A plane scene. Because movies were not as diverse in '87. They weren't. I know because I was there. That's why people complaining about it now, saying black people failed because of Captain America. I'm like, yeah, yet they did not because Mr. Terrific got over. That's more. I only need one hero to make a difference. I don't need every movie to be diverse and then they saved the movie because the black girl in Minecraft didn't save it. No, what saved that movie was its charm, its goofy tone, and the comedy, and also Jack Black and Jason Momoa and the visuals. That's what saved it. Yeah. It wasn't a deep plot. I wasn't looking for a deep plot. It's on a game I never played about building blocks. A bat. It wasn't exactly going to be a deep story, guys. It's not Legend of Zelda. It's Minecraft. He's behind you. And this is classic Dracula with the cape and everything. Not fast running vampires like in Twilight. That's stupid. Or My Base is a Vampire or something like that. These are the Universal monsters that they did like in Hotel Transylvania. He can fly. It's a good effect. 15 minutes in already. And all of this has happened. They don't take an hour to introduce the monsters. And the villains are actually in the movie, unlike in Mission Impossible, where the villain's in the beginning and then he disappears for 90 minutes and then comes back at the end. That's not a good villain, guys. It's lame. They did a disservice to S.A. Morales. No wonder Nicholas Holt didn't want to be in Dead Reckoning. I don't blame him now. He would have been underused. Yep, girls. Who again, something you wouldn't do today. Looking at peeping out a woman's window, yeah, they don't do that in films anymore. Why? Because they know what we call a pervert. Or Weinstein, even though Weinstein lured women, he didn't look through their windows, guys. I know what happened, okay? I know the real story. I don't just hear rumors. I know what he did. Okay, I wasn't there, but I know who is it. Hey, look, Godzilla. Prescriptions. The Gill Man, yeah. I like that Godzilla poster. Some of these posters are fake, but some of them are real. And the toys as well. Books. Books, because kids didn't have the internet in 1987. There was no internet. People had computers, but there was no internet. It was just, you could play a game on it, but you couldn't like surf the web like you can now. Now kids are on their phones and tablets. Everything is about technology now. People can't go out and walk anymore. They gotta be robots. People aren't human anymore. They have to be connected to their machines. I use my phone a lot, but when I sleep, I don't use my phone. I shut it off. That's the way it should be. I don't want distractions when I'm sleeping. That's a cool Dracula. See, he has presence. He gets most of the screen time because the Frankenstein monster who wakes up later and the Gill Man and all that. But he's in it. He's not just like, oh, there he is and then he's gone. No. Stephen Mott, we saw him in Galaxina. I did a podcast for that, I think, last year. Stephen Mott, we still have him because a lot of these actors, some of them passed away, man. Groundhog Day didn't come out till the 90s. Yeah, that's what they did back in the day. Now the internet can spoil a whole movie on Wikipedia or on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. They can literally spoil the movie or a show like in a few seconds. I'm not letting that happen in November. Yeah, smoking is bad, man. Yeah, this is the only black person in the movie. He's a cop because in the 80s, a lot of them were playing cops. Eddie Murphy, Danny Glover, etc. Hmm. And that was the same black guy that was in Daylight. I almost said Die Hard. No, Daylight. I know. Again, Full Moon. And unlike I was a teenage werebear, there's nothing gay in this. Nothing. Good stunt work, by the way. Again, did I mention that I missed the way movies were made in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s? Yeah, they actually used film. Once film got digital, it was not the same because a lot of movies are just CGI cartoons or demo reels for 4K TVs. Oh, The Mummy is also in the film. Yeah, that was in a commercial. Can you hear me now? Shane Black did this the same year he did Predator, the first Predator, not the Predator. That movie can suck it. It was so bad. Thumbs up and stupid jokes, Yo Mama jokes in 2018. That made no sense. You're 20 years too late, Fred Decker and Shane Black. No one has said a Yo Mama joke since the 90s. They weren't funny back then. They're not funny now. You shouldn't insult somebody's mother. It's not cool. Blood. This was after American Werewolf in London. Yeah, a few years after. Look at those feet. That looks great. This was perfect for 2 days before Halloween. Love, love. Oh, that's the old Burger King bags. I remember those in the 80s and the 90s. Uh, Burger King. I haven't had Burger King in weeks. I'm trying to watch my cholesterol. It was too high during the last 6 months. So I'm trying to eat better. I'm going to eat candy on Friday, but that's only because it's a holiday. We're on a holiday. Yeah, so the black guy, I don't think he dies in this movie because he died in Daylight because they had to leave him. That's the only diversity in the movie. There's no Asians in this movie. There's nobody Hispanic. There's nobody Middle Eastern or any of that because again, it was a different time. 87 was completely different from 2025. Now everything has to be diverse, whether we like it or not. Even period pieces have people of color for no reason, only because they want to be put. They want to strike that checklist for Hollywood. You can't force diversity. You have to have it. It's got to be. It makes sense. There's the Mummy. This is still a better dark universe than what Universal was trying to do. Because this did it well. If this movie was a huge hit, there would have been more movies. But it's a shame that this movie didn't like set the world on fire like The Lost Boys or anything like that, or even Hotel Transylvania. Those movies did well too. The Creature. Frankenstein. And I'd rather see this than the new movie. There's The Creature. It looks great. See, I told you practical looks better than bad CGI any day. Blah. Those costumes look incredible. There he is, Thomas Noonan, probably the most famous person in this movie. Him and that black actor from Daylight. Noonan, you know him. Last time I saw him in the theater was in RoboCop 2. I finally got to see that in the theater before the pandemic hit, and it was worth it. It was great to see that movie in film. It wasn't some Blu-ray; it was the actual film, because I saw the grain and everything from 1990. Alamo Drafthouse doesn't use 4K or unless it's a 4K restoration of a film. It's alive. Yeah. And I've seen all these original Universal movies. I've seen the original Dracula from the 30s, the original Frankenstein, the original Mummy, and the original Creature from the Black Lagoon. And the Wolfman. I've seen all of them. It's good musical score. Who did the score? Good. I could actually read this. The print's not so small. It's they shouldn't make print so small because then I can't read it. Bruce Broughton. Yeah, Bruce Broughton. He did the music. This is the original artwork for the movie. Look. That's awesome. When my niece is that age, I'm going to give her lots of kisses. I don't care what my brother says. I don't care. Because like I said, I'm the rebel in my family. I do what I want because that's what I have to do. If I'm not a rebel, what am I? Just another clog in the machine? No. Sean Collar, Alucard. That's Dracula backwards. Mr. Alucard school. It's Dracula. Backwards. That's the name of the son of Dracula, Alucard. I know this actor too. He was in Die Hard. That's My Pet Monster. Yeah, that's the guy from Die Hard and Ernest Saves a Christmas. He has a Punisher poster. A little kid has a Punisher poster, and a Robotech T-shirt, even though Robotech hasn't been popular in years because we have animes like My Hero Academia now and Demon Slayer and Inuyasha and Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I know what's up. It's in there. He was also in Godzilla. He's like, Animal, you getting in the chopper with Cayman. Yeah, that's him. I know that actor too. So there's a couple of recognizable faces, but the kids, I don't know them. I never seen him in another movie because the fat kid, you know, Horace, may he rest in peace. That actor passed away like right after doing this. It's sad, man. That dog is cute. It's a beagle. This is still better than Suicide Squad, definitely. It's less characters and they have personalities, and there's none of this feminism garbage that they're trying to put in that with Harley Quinn. Peenhead. We're 30 minutes in, and the movie's very engaging. It's a mix of like the Goonies and what Stranger Things would do later, years later, decades later. Why weren't they at Comic Con? Well, next year. Well, no, not next year. In 2 years is the anniversary. So, because I want to meet anybody at next year's Comic Con. It's going to be the 20th anniversary. I gotta go to it. Again, 80s was a different time, guys. The Goonies, I want to do that either in November or December before I finish Stranger Things. Because I haven't done it. Puppy Whoopee! I love dogs. They should be outside running, not staying in the house all day. That's a really cool set, man. I miss old movies. This is why I always go to see. This is why every year or so I go to at least one re-release of an old movie because I want to remind myself that films can still look awesome even decades later. Unlike films this year that are so dated that some of them are going to be forgotten next year. And I'm not just trying to complain. I'm just saying, I'm saying the facts, guys. Films nowadays are just not the same. They don't have the soul and heart and ingenuity that movies did back in the day. That's why more people saw Ninja Turtles from 1990 than they did with half of the summer movies because it didn't cost $200 million and was a running time of 2.5 hours. Just saying, movies don't have to be $200 million. It's mental. They should be much shorter. They should be much smaller budgets and less running time. This movie would be painful if it was 2.5 hours. I'd be like, no, just get to the action already. Yeah, Thomas Noonan does a good job. He probably steals the show of all the monsters. They give him the most personality. Look, he's wearing a Freddy Krueger sweater. This was 1987. That's when Dream Warriors came out. That is scary. Sheesh, this is one of the creepiest actors in the movie without makeup. Because they were Nazis. A lot of them were Nazis, and they were terrifying. Terrifying, I tell you. You saw you saw the Pepsi cans. Again, product placement in the movie. Rad. I know. Every hundred of years. No podcast on Saturday because I want to take a break. I'm gonna do one tomorrow and Friday, so no podcast on Saturday. Sunday I'll do one. I'll figure something out. I've never seen a movie in German because it's just not my thing. It's scary. It's only laughable in that Schnitzelbank Animaniac song because they made it funny, but it's speaking it like in a movie and he's yelling it is just terrifying to me. It is. Sorry. No. Hmm. You saw he has a number on his arm. Beast bait. See, that's an original word. More Pepsi. Yeah, there's a lot of Pepsi product placement in this movie. He spit a spit take. You know, and he virgin. That scene was way too short. I wanted to see him drink. Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't bite people unless your life is in danger. There's the Frankenstein monster. Yep, they're running back in. This music is kind of whimsical. It's like in Megan. There was an actual the song she sings is very sweet for a movie like that. That's what was missing in Megan 2.0. It's too bad they changed it from horror to sci-fi. It didn't work because it lost all the horror elements. It became a joke. Yeah, Thomas Newton is a very tall man. Yep, they're peeping at a girl again. Hmm. Costume and mask. The classic look of the Frankenstein monster. Look at the kid, he's not saying anything. See, they put this whimsical music for this character. I guess because they want to make him sympathetic. Because Thomas Noonan is sympathetic. He's not one of the villains here. Because most of the Dracula is not sympathetic in this movie. He's not. That's why the new Frankenstein, I don't care about it. It's Oscar Isaac again overacting because that's what he does. He does a lot of yelling and he talks really fast. That's every performance he gives now. Nothing is subtle. This is why most of the movies I've done this month have been older films. Nothing from this year, just a lot of stuff from decades ago. That's where you're wrong, buddy. Fantastic Four, yeah, the real Fantastic Four. It's a lot of Marvel product placement in this movie. Wood shop. The soundtrack is pretty good. Yep, a stake. A wooden stake. Spider-Man. It's a lot of Marvel in this movie, and this is not. This is a TriStar movie. This isn't Columbia or Sony or Disney. See, that's why this movie's not on Disney Plus, because it wouldn't make any sense. There's Marvel characters here. Like the Amazing Spider-Man. Yes, guys, I miss Comic-Con already. It's only been 3 weeks and I miss it like crazy. But I'll be back. He took his bow and arrow. That's funny, man. 1 hour photo. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. Now you have to take digital photos on your phone. It's not the same. It's just not. And he's drinking more Pepsi. A spit take again. Puppy, puppy. Prescriptions. Plus, this movie's a PG-13, so there's no F-bombs in this. It's because PG-13 existed in 1984. After the 84, it became a middle ground between PG and R. So girls. They had to replace those windows, yeah. Yeah, movies is a good transformation scene. Because Stan Winston did a great job when he was around. Take these socks off. Squawkity. That girl is not a character in the movie. She's just a background character. There's the Gill Man. Hold on. There's good. That's good. Some fresh socks. What about the Twinkie? It's like Ghostbusters. It got a nice sense of humor, but that didn't get PG-13 until the remake came out, unfortunately. Just spit it out. Are you a villain? What's villain? This is awkward. Been dorked? And yes, a scene that would never be done in a movie today because it would be called creepy and be like, oh, you're a pervert. I'm like, I'm not a pervert. I appreciate the female anatomy for what it is, a work of art. I don't take pictures of it from someone's window. I don't do that. When I take pictures of women at Comic-Con, I get consent most of the time. If I don't have time to take a selfie with them, then I just get it from a distance. But it's not whoosh. But I don't do criminal activities like that. That's called invading somebody's privacy. Thomas Noonan also was in The Last Action Hero. He was the Reaper. Unfortunately, that was a dark foreshadowing for that actor's life. He heard the creaking. Hmm. The movie's almost over. We're 55 minutes in. That's more than halfway. Uh-oh. Oh, a low blow. Yep, the Wolfman's got nards. It's a wolf man. Run, puppy, run. The Brides of Dracula. You're surrounded. Yep, again, trapdoor. Fills. That way? Ah, yeah. There's a lot of screaming in this movie. There it is. There's crucifixes there too. But I'm not going to show it because I'm not getting my channel flagged. No way. I never show any crucifixes because I'm over that. Over, okay? See, he's trying to choke him out. Garlic, yep, garlic on a pizza. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't I know it? Huh. Hmm. This must have been a fun movie to work on. The Mummy, no! Come on, puppy wuppy. I told you there's a lot of screaming in this movie. Bye. Yep, the mummy's getting ripped apart, just like the remake. It's a good effect. You saw a skull. I told you there's so much screaming in this movie. I'm like, guys, it's just monsters. It's a good cast, mostly. The mom doesn't really do much, but you know, she moms in movies like this usually, except the mom in Gremlins, she did something in the movie. Most of them just take care of the kids. Damn, Dracula's pissed, man. Bombs away. He blew up their whole, their tree house. He blew up their tree house. If Dracula did that to me, well, or if anybody did that to me, I would call the cops on them and throw them in jail for larceny, blowing up something. Yeah, it's not gonna work on him. The black guy does die. I was wrong. He does die. Of course, because it's a horror movie. Usually they're the first to die. He's not the first to die, but still. Yeah, he does die. He blows up. I forgot. I haven't seen this movie in a while, so forgive me. Bullets don't work on Dracula unless bat. He, he killed his partner. Like, he blew him up. I mean, when does Dracula use dynamite? I don't remember Dracula doing that. He bit necks and haunted people, but he didn't blow people up. Man, this Dracula's a larson. He does arson. Blowing people up or setting things on fire. That's arson. Yeah. Burger King. Yep. It's the same Burger King from Back to the Future. This is the same street that was in Back to the Future. Instead of the church, they have the clock tower. It's locked. It's a Catholic church. There's the Brides of Dracula. Yeah, I like Rudy. Rudy's a cool character. He reminds me of Mr. Terrific. Leather jacket, really cool character. Of course, Mr. Terrific's black, but he's the character that steals the show. I love what Rudy does here. Yep, it's working because wooden stakes killed vampires. Stab her! Stab her! Rudy's bad ace because he knows how to get it done. There's the bat. fun movie. The third act is a lot of fun. If I had Night of the Creeps, I would have done it, but I don't have that movie. It's hard to find. It's out of print. It's a good effect. Really good practical effects in this movie. He's behind you. Again, dynamite's not going to kill him either, because you have to put a stake in his heart. No, not the Adidas sneakers, which, by the way, still exist. Even 30 something years later. Yep, he put a dynamite in his crotch and blew him up. Again, really good effects here. If you've never seen this movie, what are you waiting for? Watch this, stream this, or buy the DVD or Blu-ray if it has a Blu-ray. His hand, yeah. Yeah, his body's still moving. That is really awesome. Nicked. Yeah, I really miss Stan Winston, man. That man could do no wrong. Even the worst movies he did still had better effects than movies today. Because he used his hands. He didn't use computer generated images. You mean the vortex from the beginning of the film? The thing is, she's not a virgin. The little girl is. Also, this movie doesn't talk down to kids. It's not a kids movie. And this Wolfman is pretty. Yeah, screw the Wolfman from this year. This is the real Wolfman. You know, after the 40s classic, of course. See, Rudy's such a cool character, man. I'm glad we have a character like this is now. It's called Mr. Terrific. He put him out of his misery. Silver bullets. The Gill Man. How do you kill the Gill Man? I guess you electrocute him. Virgin, not version. Nothing beats a guy in a suit, man. Nothing. Because nowadays you just use CG for everything. I'm glad that Green Lantern had a suit in Superman. Shoot him! I don't condone kids using guns, but this is a PG-13 movie, so I'll let it slide. That was awesome. Yep. Don't ever remake The Creature from the Black Lagoon. You're not going to do it better. He just popped a cap in his... Yep. This... That was an awesome. The movie's almost over. See, this Dracula's not sympathetic, and he's not cracking jokes like Adam Sandler. He doesn't bite anybody in the neck though. I guess because they don't want to get an R rating. That's probably why. Nosferatu. That's Dracula's name in because it's too artsy fartsy for me and too long. The original wasn't 2.5 hours. Look at that little girl's face. I love what he says to her. This would never be said in a movie today. To a little girl, no. Give me the amulet. That's great. That's great, man. The best line in the movie. It's the most memorable line in the movie. Yes, definitely a Shane Black and Fred Decker line. They would never say that to a little girl today. Bogus. That's right, Frankie. No, I've been impaled. That little girl's got to be like my age now. Because I was a kid in 1987. I was 2. There it is, the vortex. It's the same spot they filmed Back to the Future. Because there was a Burger King in that area too. Yep, right in the heart. That's how you kill Dracula. Thumbs up. No, not the multiverse. It's a shame that this movie didn't do well at the box office. It's a good music. I like the music a lot. This is one of the few movies that Noonan is not a villain in the movie. Because he's the villain in RoboCop 2 and The Last Action Hero. He's a side villain. I hope I get to meet him at Comic-Con next year. I hope he doesn't pass away yet. Because, so many people died this year. Ugh. the lab. We saw a tank showed up and they don't do anything in the movie. Useless. The cops did more than the military. What are they there for? They fight the good fight when it comes to doing things overseas, but in this movie they do nothing. It's like the military in Transformers did more than these guys. They're gone. You came too late. The monsters are gone. The Monster Squad. Hell yeah. It's a good movie. There should have been a sequel, man. Like in the 90s, it would have been awesome. To see these kids all grown up. That was a fun movie, yeah. 77 minutes long, guys. Very, very short. One of the shortest movies I've done this month. It's a good song, too. Sean is Andre Gower. Yeah, I never heard of him. Who was, Rudy was Ryan Lambert, yeah. Phoebe was Ashley Bank. Eugene was Michael Faustino. I think his brother's, is Nick Faustino from Married with Children. Tom Woodruff Jr. It was a given. Yeah. Well, that was Monster Squad. It's a very underrated movie from 1987, and I wish it was a hit because it would have been a sequel, and maybe the actor that played Horace wouldn't have died, you know. But we'll see what happens one day. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Acknowledge me tomorrow. I'll be doing this monster movie, Split Second from 1992. It's about 91 minutes, so it's a little longer than this, but it's more British. But it's got some actors I like in it, so I'll see you guys then.